I'm Charles. I'm 54 years old. I'm 6'1" when I'm fully assembled and weigh about 235 pounds. One of the things I want to show you this time around is a simple clothing modification that was done early on when I had my first amputation. To begin with, this was the leg that I had my initial amputation. I had partial foot and then below the knee amputation. This was several years before my above the knee amputation. So once I was done and come out of the hospital, I had my regular leg here and my amputation leg was here. And of course, after a couple of months, I was able to get a kind of a starter prosthetic leg. And the starter prosthetic leg was not set up the way this one here is. It had the same kind of a shell, but it was really big. It was about that big because, of course, my stump hadn't shrunk down. And it had multiple layers. A liner came way up here, and then there was another liner outside of that shell that came all the way up here. And the whole thing was just huge. And one of the things that that caused was it made it virtually impossible for me to put any long pants on or anything like that at all. Now, the cool weather was coming, and there were people concerned that, my legs would get cold and it ought to be about time I'd be able to wear some long pants. So what happened is my mom and my sister kind of got together and came up with this idea. These are, I think they're technically called lounge pants. I call them pajamas, but theoretically you can wear them outside. And they're my Batman pants. And what they did was, for this leg, is they just bought this regular, off the rack stuff, and then they put these little Velcro strips. Let's see if I can actually pull these Velcro strips off. Well, I don't know if I can pull these Velcro strips off, but in any case, there it goes, the Velcro strips. And what they did was they cut this leg all the way up the end on the outside, and they found some material they thought I would like, which is a Batman pattern, of course, and they just sewed it in on each side of that cut that they made. So, the leg length, or the leg circumference, is going to be that much wider than it would have been otherwise, and it opens up all the way up to just a little bit below the crotch area. So I was able to get these pants on with that big old monster prosthetic and be able to close it back up and wear some pants, long pants, comfortably, so I wouldn't get cold with the cold weather was out. In any case, I just figured I'd show you one of the clothing modifications that was done on my behalf so that I'd be able to manage with a prosthetic out in the cold weather.